Shall we? Green-Black Elves. Our second time playing this is a deck I've loved in Modern. In Pioneer, we lose Heritage Druid and some other toys, but we've got some Growth Chamber Guardians and some Thorn Lieutenants to fill in the missing pieces. We've got a low land count here because this is our mana creatures we also get to play once upon a time. Hopefully this deck will no longer be legal at the end of the day, and then we'll replace this with some more lands and some more elves, but in the meantime, we've got 4 once upon a time and 4 Collected Company as our non-creature spells in the main deck. Post-board, we no longer have Veil of Summer, so we got some Shaper Sanctuary here against the removal heavy decks. Thoughtseize for combo. Scavenging Ooze for graveyard. And then Reclamation Sage and Trophy from when you interact with artifacts and enchantments. Let's go ahead and dive on into a league here and see how it goes. Thanks for the resub, by the way, folks. I had a couple in there I'm going to read off in a second. Oh, you know what? I think I left this running overnight. How much RAM is Moto using? Only 1.5 gigs. We're good. We're good. Only 1.5 gigs of RAM, chat. It's not until Moto gets close to 3 gigs that you need to take it out back old Yeller style. Master Neo, thanks for coming in with the quarter of the year. Rexbox with the 10 months. Paula Cantino with that massive tier 3 resub. Almost 2 entire years indeed. Metsu Fan with the quarter of a year. Cardinal, let's make sure you've got a sword. Thanks for the 12 months. Happy Monday, folks. Those are rookie numbers, I agree. Sabertooth to bounce and replay Shaman of the Pack. That's the thing. I don't know that I'm in for creatures that don't get hit by Collected Company. Seem like a pretty large cost. Seems a little medium, but I don't know that we necessarily... We only have 10 1-drops. I don't know we necessarily mulligan on the play to a 1-drop. Low 1. Thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Welcome to the party, Elvish Mystic. Right on time. Sabertooth gets hit by Coco. It's 3 CMC. I thought Sabertooth costs 4. It's just 4 to activate? No, yeah. Teamer Sabertooth totally costs 4. Yeah, it's 2 GG. Don't make me go crazy. I was like, I thought I knew. Made me doubt myself. Hey, Admiral, thanks for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Surprised we haven't seen an Eldrazi Displacer deck pop up yet. I don't really know that... I'm probably going to diddle the Clancaller here. Really? Okay. Weird. I guess they just want to attack in next turn. I don't really know if there's enough good colorless sources for that to really be a thing. Alright, so they're just straight up racing here. I think we just do this now. Was hoping to hit another Lord there so I could attack in with my Thorn Lieutenant. Here's a question. Is it worth throwing away my Elvish Mystic for 3 points of damage? I kind of feel like it might be, huh? Yeah, that's true too. The activated abilities are just a little expensive. And they have a Master of Waves. We're going to be in a lot of trouble here. This is definitely going to be a matchup where we board in Assassin's Trophy. Thassa. That's also kind of a tough nut to crack. Yeah, I don't really have time to do that, Dwarf Lord. We're just dead before that's relevant. And then I'm just dead on board, right? They go block, block. I take 9, 10 on the backswing. Yep, super did. There's a chance that the tools this archetype has in this format are just not fast enough as far as the format's concerned. As far as just being a purely linear deck goes. We're going to swap out Thorn Lieutenant because its text box isn't super relevant. We're going to bring in Assassin's Trophy, but I don't really have other relevant cards here. Yeah, that's a super reasonable. For sure. This is basically a one-lander. I don't think that's good enough. Need to mulligan. Seems like not great. Just fine. Got a callback audition for the Dentist and Little Shop of Horrors. Hey, congrats, Nivik. Hope you have fun. Thanks for cashing in that prime. Alright, that's a good start on the play. If we hit a third land next turn, we get to go elite here. Well, that's incredibly rude. Joke's on you. I didn't want that 5/4 anyways. The old Tidebinder Mage keeps our creature locked down for as long as Vomit. Sometimes they want it more than you, chat, and you just gotta understand that they wanted it more and there was nothing you could do. This matchup seems real bad. No. You'd have to give it protection from blue in response to the Tidebinder Mage entering play. I don't think we can beat this card at this point. Need to draw, like, Assassin's Trophy, and even then it's, like, not a good scene. Very easy for them to, like, put more stuff into play. I don't think I've ever played against Rotting Regisaur in this format. But yeah, the blue-red deck can't kill the thing that's a 7/6. That's accurate. It was not a particularly close match, Magic. The god does count towards itself for devotion. She'll only need 4 other pips in addition to Thassa. I was, in fact, out there somewhere, Saphian. You can Tidebinder Elks, that's true. Elks are green. Alright, hopefully we get some games closer than those. That was quite the thrashing. Sounds fine. Second Once Upon a Time's a little awkward, but we'll grab a land, play Gnarlroot on one here. It's a little awkward that Gnarlroot Trapper does not make mana for Collected Company. But hand's definitely a keep. I would love a Blooming Marsh. Not often I chime in on a Twitch stream. Thanks for the work schedule, but thanks for all the content. Thanks for the 2 years, Toadsby. I assume you're keeping up with the YouTube stuff. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, that was a good draw. Have to pay 2 life to do it, but turn 2 5/4 is not bad. .jpg. Hey, thanks for the 20 months, Hickahuck. I'm going to be a Shilia now. History of Benalia. Yep. That's a card. Sweet. Land drop here is great. I'm going to start by attacking for 5 here. The end of Oko in Standard. I'm not confident that card's going to get banned today. It's a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Yep. Gisela. Yep. 4/3 first strike lifelink. Man, trying Trying to be linear in this format is not paying off. Johnny Boy, thanks for the tip. Whoop. Where's my thing at? Happy Band Day for purple, mid-range, and tempo post-patch. Sounds fantastic. Thanks for the support. Well, I don't even know that it's fair to say, like, being linear is bad, so much as that, like, the power level of this deck in terms of how linear it is doesn't seem like it's good enough. Like, the ability, the rate at which this deck is able to be linear does not seem profitable. And I don't know how we ever beat this card. It's the fastest, most consistent Goldfish deck in Pioneer. Probably Green Devotion. This only gives attacking elves Death Touch. Brutal. Opponent is up to 21. That's exciting. Hits you for 5. You're about to gain 6 again here. Yikes. I guess I probably should have waited to, like, commission artwork for this deck for the website. Because after this run today, this one's probably getting pulled off the website. This deck does not seem particularly good. Maybe we're going to get to 4 Pioneer decks today. Too Much Dog. Thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Reclamation Sage is great against History of Benelia. Thorn Lieutenant seems a little slow, maybe. Yeah, the Historic Ladder and the 20 Historic cards are being introduced in Thursday's patch for Magic Arena. So, in fact, I've got our Thursday afternoon Arena segment is going to be Historic. So, just to, like, give you some constructive feedback on your bad comment there, Master Neo, like, elves are too vanilla for this format. What does that mean? So, like, for example, when I would describe why this deck doesn't feel good enough, I would articulate that the rate at which this deck is able to establish its linear game plan does not seem fast enough for the other decks that are doing similar things in the format. So those details, that constructive specificness is what's important to communicating clearly and helping people understand why decks are not good. Using, like, generic keywords like vanilla isn't really helpful and doesn't help people understand why something's good or not. Yeah, like that last game was a good example of why this really feels not good enough. Like, our last opponent literally didn't make a play till turn 3, and our game plan wasn't able to run them out of the game. Oh, Mahanek, thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't have enough velocity. Yeah, right on time, Elvish Mystic. I believe the elves are way too chocolate to be contained in the Pioneer format. There we go. Excellent. I like a little strawberry with my elves. You do not get Shillings while I'm offline. That would be busted. You only accrue Shillings while I'm live. They are a theoretical incentive to get people to watch the stream more and engage with it more. I don't think they've actually meaningfully changed the metrics at all, so they're not very useful, but they're fun and they're a little bit extra things, so they can stay. I think they've been up long enough that I can say with some amount of confidence that they haven't meaningfully moved the needle. I was getting Shillings while watching you host someone. Well, that's not supposed to be how that works. If you try it later and you confirm that's how it works, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up resetting Shillings if that's being a buggy like that. Shillings let me pay fake money to request timeouts. That's, well, we got you. We gonna get on the scoreboard here? We gonna do it? Can we just, like, never beat this card? I feel like I can just never beat this card. It's a good draw. Alright, so I can attack with both the Growth Chamber Guardians because if they try and eat one of these with Gisela, I get to fart it and crush her. Oh, I'm so dumb. That's how that works. Yeah, I should have attacked with everything. I don't know that we have lines that let us win this game. Just can never beat a 4-3 first striker with lifelink. Seems like elves provide a good board, but compared to a deeper aggro archetype like mono white, it pushes into the mid-range end of the spectrum. That means the types of threats and answers it competes with start to grow. I would compare it to Tarmogoyf and Mono right now. They are great threats, but the fact that they're like, I think your comparison there is bad, and this is why the details matter. Like, comparing this deck to Tarmogoyf seems beyond silly to me because Tarmogoyf's an individually powerful card, and that's part of the problem with this. Like, the cards we're playing are not individually powerful. So I think your comparison is like pretty off base. Always watching. Yeah, I don't know how we ever beat that. He said for the third time this morning. Alright, so Shaman of the pack. My opponent's at a virtual 17. Shaman puts them to 10. I attack with everything. They go block, block. They take 10. They could go first strike this down, take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I believe we're dead. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this and attack with everything and hope they mess up combat math. The way First Strike works on our lords is not good for us here. Oh, always watching here gives their non-token creatures 1/1 and vigilance. Yep. Yeah, this puts them to 1. They did the math, chat. They did the math. Bill Nye, the zombie guy, thank you for the third of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for 15 months, Goons. Beyond Sadistic, thanks for the 10. Welcome back. Okie doke. McKnox. Time to put the elf on a shelf. Hey, a fair deck. Let's see if we can compete with the fair deck. For 5-color Niven Pioneer, we'll do Quinner. Wonder if we'll see elves potentially good in historic. Two of the 20 cards they're printing into historic are elf tribal cards. So if you're a fan of the elves, they're probably worth exploring in that format. Rude. Yeah, they had a goblin cards too. One of the problems elves is gonna have in historic is definitely that they don't have enough good 1-drops though. So it'll depend on how fast that format. One of the things I think a lot of people are gonna forget about historic to start is that, like, unless they start with a ban list, which it doesn't sound like they're going to, like, all the decks that are like good in current standard and were good in previous standard are going to be legal in that format. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna have to be competitive against Nexus. You're gonna have to be competitive against the food decks that are hopefully getting banned today. Maybe the food decks just aren't good enough in a world where Nexus is everywhere. Field of the Dead. Yeah, you can. Harmless Offering is a donate effect. Alright, well, the fact that they dealt 4 there implies that they don't have a sweeper, so that's good for us. Okay. Yup. So they're dead. Alright. It took finding our way into the Doom Foretold bracket, but we did finally get a game win. Stop and Love the Bomb. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Morning, Omega King. Alright, so no idea what this opponent is doing. We're in the O2 bracket on Magic Online. They're probably... Shaper Sanctuary is probably good here, huh? I don't know if I want Trophy. Twitch Rivals is tomorrow and Tuesday. Or tomorrow and Wednesday. As always, you can find my schedule with what we're playing when on my website. I also tweet it out every week, usually on Sunday. These are like the cards I like tentatively want. I have to decide what I want to trim here. I have up to 8 cuts I have to make. I don't know if I can afford to bring in this many non-creatures. Be a little greedy and cut a land on the draw. I'm gonna trim the Clancallers. I bet post-board they're gonna have sweepers, so I kind of want to like increase my average card quality by a little bit. It says 29 creatures. Let's try this. The absolute worst thing about this silly Doom Foretold card is I have to listen to people call things stack stacks who have no idea what that jargon means with regards to Magic. And that's why using bad jargon is hinderful instead of helpful, because it makes it so when people are using words in a way that doesn't make sense, they don't understand that they're using their words in a way that doesn't make sense. Doom Foretold does not make a deck a stack stack. Look up the card Winter Orb and Smokestacks. Like, those are stacks cards. Doom Foretold is annoying, but it is not a stacks card. If you're predicting they bring in sweepers, it's reasonable to bring in all the sanctuary cards because you're expecting sweepers and playing. I'm confused on your statement because I brought in all the sanctuary. Why can't they just name decks in a way that makes sense? After breakfast cereals, yep. For any version of Elves, some success in Pioneer, Sabretooth is good when you have Visionary, Dwynen's Elite. My version is using Nykthos. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound good. Like, if it's someone who's like played a bunch of this format, like what you just described sounds really slow and clunky. It doesn't sound fast enough to keep up with the other linear decks in the format, and what you described has zero interaction like what we're doing. Like the payoff of what you're getting and what you're working to get there does not sound worthwhile. I'm actually just going to be done. This deck does not feel... Like, I know we're up a game here, but this deck just doesn't feel good. The linear game plan we're trying to execute is just too slow and fair in this format. And, like, trying to squeeze any amount of interaction in here, just, like, makes the plan even worse. Like, this isn't... The Elves isn't a green-black rock deck. I think if you want to play this card, you should probably just play, like, the blue-green stompy decks that have been going around. Yeah, I don't know, just the ultimate power level of what's going on here without, like, Heritage Druid to occasionally generate some really busted draws and, like, Azuri and Elvish Archdruid just really feels like it's not all there. So, makes me a little bit sad playing this again a second time through, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this one off the website as a deck that I'd recommend people play, and yeah, let's move on to the next one. I know that was a short lead, but I am going to run an ad roll just so I don't